Hi guys, it's Francis. Today is Friday, January 31st, 2025. This is my trade review. We'll just start off by today I was very undisciplined. Managed to pull the cheese on the win, but just very undisciplined. Just gone the trades that I shouldn't have, and I just got lucky. That's all I gotta say for today. So we'll dive right into it. SPY, I had a kind of bullish bias, but I didn't really trust the market all that much. It did open above the previous day's green bar, which I like, but for me, it was going to be a double top. And if it was not going to be pushing above the previous day high, I had anticipated it was going to fail. And that, similarly to the Qs, it had opened right at this trend line. So for me, it was wait and see to see what happened. My thought was if it goes up to 532, that's where it will stall. And that's more or less what happened. We'll move on to first stock I traded, which was ABV. This one was let me drill down here. You can see that it was breaking above this area, which I like. Going back on the monthly, it wasn't too overextended. Same thing on the weekly. So I kind of like this one because you're breaking over this pivot, this pivot, this pivot above the 200 MA. I know there's a little bit of a kind of junk over in this area, but I thought it was pretty decent. But the trade itself, what I took, it was not good because it was already at 100 and I guess 100 and 20% ATR at this point. And this is a midday breakout. It's not the day high. Like if you're talking about the high, I could see it pushing out, but that's kind of what I saw. Kind of consolidated here. I went in at 190, give it $2 stop. Didn't like the price action. I got out for a quarter loss. So that was the first trade. Next one was WBA. This was something I had scanned, and what I was looking at was sorry, was it WBA? Yeah, WBA here. Yeah. So I went in on the short. Eventually it didn't work out. I got tagged out. I think, oh yeah, I remember. I went on a 15-minute three bar play. I know it's not relatively even. It's about, call it 5, 6 cents difference, but it is quite significant for this low price stock. But that's what I played as this bar pushed below. I got in a little bit earlier, actually. I got in at 63. So I didn't wait for this low. I got in, thought it was pretty good, but started coming back out. And eventually I sold for a little bit of a loss. I didn't take a full lot loss. And then here I went back in again. As it started pushing up at this point as 155% ATR, I felt pretty good about this extension move right here on the 5 minutes. So as this bar pushed down, I got in right there, 1065. Like I got in pretty much at the top. I was feeling pretty good. It got back down, and then I saw this price action. And man, that was a little bit rough. What had happened was the market sold off. Let's double check this here. The market sold off right here, and that's how I got out. So I got out for a little bit over. Let me double check here. I got it in over a half hour. I just didn't want to play around with this one, so we got out. Then is AMD. This was this was a midday breakout as well. Right here, it's got a lot of junk. I have to agree. It's probably not the best trade, but when I saw this consolidation here on the 2 minute, you have the rising moving MA, and then even on the let's see, the 15 minute, you're breaking above this point. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just get a quick 1 hour and get out of here. It was moving really nice. Like this shot up. It was nice, but it moved down just as quick, and then boom, I was out right there. I don't have 84% play built in, but my ego kind of came in and I decided to get in and got double tagged out here. So not fun at all. I did another third trade on AMD. This was relative weakness to the market. It went 100% retracement, tried to bounce back up, failed at the 20 moving average coming down. So I shorted it right here. My entry was 118. I gave it to 140. That was where the VWAP was at the time. It got a little bit jiggy. It really kind of struggled, but it was under VWAP, so I was still okay with it. What really saved the trade? Again, it was market sold off. All you'll see a pattern here. I had a lot of trades that I probably shouldn't have gone in, and when this market sold off, they all they all closed for a profit. So by no means did I think I thought this was okay, but you'll see some other trades later on that I shouldn't have taken. Anyways, the market sold off. We ended up getting a quick R from this guy, 1.2 R from this one. Next one was crudo, CRDO. This was something that I was scanning and I found this right here. Again, it was another overextension, over 133% ATR. I didn't believe that it can go any higher at this point. Let's go back to this screen right here. Um, I again, this was a pretty nice picking for my part. Double top retest. You got the volume here slowing down. They try to go up. You got a narrow body bar, narrow range bar, and that's what happened. I actually waited for the 15 minute, I believe. Yeah, 15 minute. I got right in at 76. So this push up filled in 76. I gave it a 77. I did not believe, I honestly would have gone a little bit tighter, but that was good enough. That being said, I got a full 2R on this, 76 to 74. It goes way more than a 3R. I mean, it goes to 5Rs. 5R, almost 6R. Nonetheless, we got a clean 2R from that trade. Apple, um, this was a little rough for Apple today. So what I did was I got in here. It wasn't doing too much, so I sold Apple for, sorry, I did get in. I had a really tight stop here, and then Apple kind of tagged me out on this igniting volume. Because I saw this igniting volume, I decided to go in again. You can see here, I was circling areas that I would have played options. I would have played it up until the moving average and then would have sold. This one, I would have got in, I would have added, I would have got out. So this should have been a profit if I was playing options. But from the stock side, first trade right here, I got tagged out because I saw this green bar, got in a little bit early and stopped out. I decided to go back in right again. This was at 239.28. So 239.28. Yeah, so as this bar broke out right here, it got in, and then got out right there for a 1R on the Apple. So a little bit more than break even on that one. AVGO. What I liked about AVGO was that it was coming back to this little backside of the trend line. So this was a pendant that formed. It sold off. This gave us the huge red bar here, bouncing off of the 550 MA, and then I was eyeing this the whole time. So I would have preferred it touching 227 and I would have given it a dollar stop, but it was struggling a lot. So as this pushed up and it came back down, that's where I shorted. So AVGO was 226 by 227. It was going to be only a 1R. So as it came back down, I got out for a 1R. I contemplated it on doing another short here, but recalling what I said yesterday, grindy stocks probably don't want to be in it. If had this popped up, then I would have shorted it. So I didn't make a second trade. I got 1R on this guy. Amazon, this was probably the most egregious trade of the day. I did not like this. I don't know what I was even thinking, but what I was thinking at the time was this trend line, it pulled back, hit VWAP. It was going to fail on the backside of the trend line and continue going down. You can see that that obviously didn't happen. So I got filled at 229, sorry, 239. I gave it somewhere here, realizing that it was just not going to happen. So I got out for a little bit under 1R, a point 0.8 R. Same thing for Google, same idea. Google was just not moving. I was anticipating it to come back down to an area of now support at 202.25 area. I shorted it right here as it was coming down, right under the 20 MA. I saw that it couldn't hold. uh, it was under 20 MA, under 9 MA, but it was not under VWAP. So I need more things in alignment in the future. And I think I was even looking at this, right? You got a bottoming, like a mini trend right here. It's coming down, it's failing, and I was expecting it to follow through. It didn't. I ended up, I took a full lot. Yeah, I pretty much took a full R loss right here as it moved up. That was not a good trade. Meta. I was eyeing Meta to come down the whole time. You got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Yesterday was a red bar, and then today as well. I just did not think it was gonna continue. I ended up drawing the trend line right here on the 60 minute. Uh, Plenty of chances to go, but when I saw that it was still continuing on a downtrend under not VWAP now, 20 MA, 9 MA, and the 21 EMA all coming down, I decided to short. A little bit late on my part. I had an entry at 700, but I wanted to make sure. So my actual fill was 699.25. I gave it to 701 right there, this area, 701. Um, I got a full 2R on this guy. So sold off right there. That's all she wrote. Sorry, not a full 2R, 1.86 just because I got a little bit late of a fill. Um, I got out at 696. Obviously, got a way more than that, but that was the trade. And then the last two trade was Microsoft. What I saw was Microsoft was you got one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 bar on volume. I guess, sorry, it wasn't on volume, but it was on the range. So I think that was the part I was missing. If this gave me volume confirmation, it would have been a little bit better. So Microsoft was not doing too hot. Just double check this guy here. Yeah, Microsoft was just not doing too hot throughout the day. So yeah, right here. And that's kind of where I sorry, let me just double check this thing. This was around 12, 12, right at this area. You see it just kind of moved up and down, quite large swings relative to the market. So what I did was I decided short. So my short was as it popped back, as it moved above 418, I decided short, and that's what I did. I gave it $1, but I was going to add. So that's exactly what I did. As it pushed around this area, I added a little bit. You see the red bar right here. So I added around 418.80. It kept pushing up, but my new stop loss was actually 419.25. It was going to be a little bit more than 1 hour. So if I was going to lose on this trade, it was about one and a quarter, 1.5 hour, but I was willing to risk that on this trade. Um, Again, it was probably not a good trade. I just pulled the cheese because the market sold off. Like I said, the market sold off and it went with it. I had moved my trade to a 418 at a limit order. At that point, I just wanted to get out at closer to break even. This ended up being closer to a half R. And then last but not least was the Qs for exactly the reason why I shorted everything. I did not believe the Qs was going to come back up. I drew this trend line and I decided, hey, let's just go and at it for a quick half R. It moved quite aggressively. I got a good fill, and ended up with 0.7 R. So shorted right here. I had a stop loss at right above there, and this just went. And because the Qs went, all these kind of got filled at the same time. So all in all, I feel like I really just got lucky today. It was not disciplined trade. All the rules were out the books. The idea was there, but I should not have taken the amount of trades I did. I took one, two, three, four, five, six. Well, sorry, I took there's 15 trades today. That's absolutely unacceptable. With like, just it was not good. Market saved me today. I'll count that as a blessing. Ended up with 3.29 R. Other than that, yeah, just I gotta tighten this down. I will be registering for options for this week, so be on the lookout for real options trades as instead of using stocks to scalp. I think it'll give me a better sense. We'll start off with one contract until we can prove ourselves. So that's my trade review for Friday, January 31st, 2025. Thank you.